Don't rely on social media. Put it down, turn it off, shut up, be quiet, learn, read.
I would say, Oprah Winfrey, what people are beginning to do is see you for who you are.
I was publicly humiliated for 25 years, every week, exploited by the tabloids. Every time any comedian wanted to make fun or make a joke about it, they could make a joke about it. And I accepted it because I thought I deserved it. And this is what I do know for sure. When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment.
Singer Seal Instagrammed this meme, showing Winfrey kissing the disgraced mogul. It reads, "When you have been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they all think you are the solution."
The question now, could past attendees like Ashton Kutcher, Demi Moore, Kelly Osbourne, Justin Bieber, and Usher be potentially questioned by federal investigators?
Were that there are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on.
It's honestly crazy how this entire thing has expanded. Just a short time ago, Diddy was living it up, holding dazzling, star-studded parties in Miami, popping champagne like a king. Now he's locked up in one of the harshest, most talked-about prisons in the U.S. And if that isn't surprising enough, wait until you hear who's now being discussed in the same phrase as Diddy. Oprah Winfrey. Yes, that Oprah, the symbol of daytime TV. The millionaire boss woman who's inspired millions with her teachings of development, strength, and emotional healing. People are truly losing their heads over this link because it's Oprah. She's not someone you'd ever expect to see wrapped up in something so dark and contentious. But obviously, she is. And guess who's peeling back the layers on all this tangled drama? None other than Denzel Washington. Yes, the renowned actor himself is raining bombs. But hang on. We can't go into what he said just now. Believe it or not, there are still those out there who have no idea what's actually happening. So before we move into the jaw-dropping disclosures, let's rewind and dissect it all down from the very beginning. Buckle up. Because this tale is considerably larger and messier than you imagine. Now, I know you've somehow heard of Diddy, right? I mean, it's been all over the news, social media, and pretty about every gossip website out there. But what you may not understand is precisely how deep this rabbit hole goes. See, this isn't your standard celebrity drama where someone gets caught cheating or has a tantrum at an award event. No, Diddy's condition is a lot darker, way more severe, and honestly, way more unsettling. We're talking about actual, scary claims that seem more like the plot of a twisted criminal novel than anything occurring in real life. Charges like human trafficking, extortion, sedating unknowing victims, and even horrible allegations involving kids. And don't get it misunderstood, these aren't simply murmurs on the internet or random speculations tossed about by bored fans. These are legitimate federal accusations, and they're being examined at the highest level. And if you're wondering how all this mayhem started, well, it all blew apart when his ex-girlfriend Cassie brought a lawsuit in late 2023. That one instance pried the door wide. And what came flooding out later was an avalanche of alarming accusations and devastating findings.
We are going to hear from Cassie this week, along with another witness named Jane. They said we're going to see videos of these freak-offs, and it's going to be very uncomfortable.
He was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's freak-offs and parties.
I had Cassie and Sean. Basically, they told me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard lots of business, because what they would do is Sean.
And it'd be like, matter of fact, they sent me the girl pictures, like pictures of this girl, like, not the y'all saw. Worse.
Officer Israel Flores. He's a police officer for LAPD, but more notably is before he used to work for Securitas, and he had worked at the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City in California. So when they were talking about March 5th of 2016, this witness, who again was for the government, he got a call about a woman in distress on the 6th floor of this hotel. And so he says during his testimony, he had observed a male and a female in the lobby. He recognized that this male was Sean Combs. And so at the time he was working as the assistant director for the Intercontinental hotel. So, you know, his responsibilities were to respond to incidents, train trainees pretty much. And then he later on became the director. And that's kind of important, mainly because it kind of controlled what he was and wasn't able to do when it came to this surveillance video. So, for example, as an assistant director, he wasn't able to rewind it past a certain time frame. He wasn't even able to download it or even download this video to attach onto the incident report or anything like that. So again, he was serving as an assistant director in that capacity at the time that this incident had occurred. You know, when they were talking about the surveillance video, Officer Flores was talking about how every floor of the hotel had cameras. They were motion activated cameras, by the way. Again, they had the capacity to rewind and download these types of videos, but only the director of security was able to do so. And he didn't take over that role until later on. But as far as, you know, him writing up incidents reports, because we got to see that exhibit was we got to see the exhibit of the incident report from that day in 2016. So before he responded to the call, he said he looked at the cameras, he saw a black man pacing back and forth. Then when he arrived onto the 6th floor, he saw Diddy, or Sean Combs, in a towel, and then saw Cassie in the corner covering her face. He said he didn't know it was Cassie immediately. He just pretty much recognized Diddy. He said that Diddy's demeanor, and this is a pretty interesting point, Jesse, was a blank stare, and said it was a devilish stare. Diddy at this point is still in his hotel, is still in his towel. He's still wearing socks. Another interesting point is that they refer to Cassie as Cece, but that she was pretty much scared and frightened, according to Officer.
Cassie was forced to allow an escort to in her mouth at one point, and this was per the instructions of Sean Combs. The other witness, Jane, is going to testify that she and Diddy got into an altercation where he allegedly stomped on her face, and that she would run into every single room, lock the door, he would chase after her and kick the door down. And it was very graphic.
Next thing you know, police enforcement is raiding his homes, not just in one location, but at many sites throughout the nation. And what they find inside? Let's just say it wasn't your ordinary Hollywood luxury. We're talking liters of baby oil, shelves filled with adult toys by the hundreds, and chambers reportedly created for activities so strange and twisted they sound like something right off of a horror movie set. It's the type of thing that makes you side-eye every red carpet shot and wonder what actually goes on behind those fancy sunglasses and fitted clothes. People were already gaping over the footage that was apparently recovered, recording so terrible that even detectives were believed to be horrified. But just when the tale couldn't get any more unbelievable, it did. Out of nowhere, the name Oprah Winfrey began being tossed into the mix. The lady who essentially built her business on compassion, empowerment, and helping others recover. The millionaire talk show queen who gave away vehicles and inspired generations. Suddenly, she's being tied to one of the worst scandals in Hollywood history. And guess who dropped her name? None other than Denzel Washington. Now wait on. Denzel isn't some nasty drama starter.
And this is what I do know for sure. When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment. And what I do believe is actually happening is that, first of all, it's triggering a lot of unreleased pain, repressed anger, guilt, and suffering that a lot of women have had. I happened to be on set with several actresses the other day, and we were filming some things, and they hadn't slept over a period of 2 or 3 days, and I was like, what is that? I said, oh, you guys are suffering from PTSD.
And when you start talking about it out loud, too.
Everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. And so I think this is a watershed moment. And if we make this just about Harvey Weinstein, then we will have lost this moment. I think this is a moment where no matter what business you work in, there have been women who not only had the disease to please, that's a part of it, but who felt that in order to keep my job, in order to keep my position, in order to keep moving forward, I've got to smile, I've got to look the other way, I got to pretend he didn't say that, I got to pretend he didn't touch me. I think those days are about to be over.
Me too.
3 days after Oprah publicly supported victims of sexual assault in the wake of numerous allegations against Harvey Weinstein, singer Seal Instagrammed this meme, showing Winfrey kissing the disgraced mogul. It reads, "When you have been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they all think you are the solution."
Please welcome
The 54-year-old who's appeared on Oprah's show captioned his post, "Oh, I forgot, that's right, you'd heard the rumors, but you had no idea he was actually serially assaulting young starry-eyed actresses, my bad." While Weinstein maintains his innocence, Seal hasn't commented further, and Oprah has not responded.
This moment is a really powerful time for everybody to get woke.
This is a guy who conducts himself with elegance, intelligence, and purpose. He doesn't speak simply to talk. So when he points fingers or simply hints at anything fishy going on, the entire globe listens. And according to murmurs from behind closed doors, he's not just name-dropping. He's apparently aiming to rip back the veil on some of Hollywood's worst secrets. See, according to individuals close to the subject, Denzel's been silently side-eyeing Oprah for a long time now. Not because of anything petty or surface level, but because of how she handles herself behind the scenes, especially when it comes to how she treats people, and more especially, how she treats Black women in the entertainment world. Now, this isn't simply a one-time snub or an unpleasant red carpet incident. We're talking about years of silent anxiety seething just under the glittery surface, because let's be honest, Oprah and Diddy go far back. This isn't some brand new out-of-nowhere relationship. They've known one another for decades. They've shared stages and grins at high-profile events like the BET Awards, the Grammys, Cannes Film Festival, and those ultra-exclusive fashion galas that average people only dream about. Diddy's even gone on her chat program, kicking back, joking with her about his come-up from the slums to the boardroom. On the surface, it appeared like two icons honoring each other's effort. Black brilliance encouraging Black excellence. But now that the truth is unraveling, people are reviewing those old videos with an entirely new viewpoint. Suddenly, the chuckle seems a touch forced. Those praises seem a bit too polished. And the vibe? Well, it's beginning to feel a whole lot more suspect. Now, if you believe all of this is simply some strange coincidence, let's speak about Taraji P. Henson. Yes, Cookie from Empire, the lady who gave us dynamite performances in Hidden Figures and The Color Purple. Taraji's revelation adds another break to the beautifully polished image Oprah has been propping up for decades. You know, Taraji previously talked out about almost walking away from The Color Purple, a picture Oprah helped develop. And the reason? Because she was being severely underpaid. And this isn't some isolated situation. It reflects what comedian and Oscar winner Monique has been screaming from the rooftops for years.
Obligation to let Oprah Winfrey know